So I pick an ugly face, I pick some ugly stats, trying to make a punching build, and then I make a stupid name because I know that Codsworth will call me that.
Mr. Sexy.
Interesting name. So I do the whole get frozen thing without my permission, wake up, no one is around. What a surprising premise to a game. I read some stuff on computer screens, which I actually kind of enjoy, just not really while playing an intensive 3D game. I actually like this sort of stuff to be in its own side app, to read some Fallout 4 lore. Anyway, I kill my first baddie, take my last sip of clean water, pick up probably what is the last gun I'll use for a while. Maybe because the game teases me that I can't have that. Get the Pip-Boy! Gosh, I love those loading sounds. Plan out my stats, because I've been thinking of this much too much. Admire my character, and then realize I do want to take them up on changing some of my stuff and taking one last look at my stats before exiting into the world.
Enjoy your return to the surface, and thank you for choosing Vault Tech.
And then we have a 22-second load screen, which feels a lot longer than that sounds. But here it is, in all of its glory. Loading. I enjoy probably my favorite part in the entire game, which is first entering the world and getting to poke around and look at everything. I'm special. I actually really like the introverted parts of this game, where you walk around in nature by yourself, looking at a beautifully crafted world, and keep on collecting stuff as you go through, collecting and foraging and scavenging and... Oh, alright. Doggy! I build some stuff, and oh gosh do I build some stuff. I got a little carried away with the amount of building and making little neighborhoods. Well, whatever. Makes me some nice, cheap XP that it doesn't mean fighting for. Scrap, 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 scrap.
Mosquitoes make me bloody.
Alright, it's okay. Just build more, gain more experience, and I'll be stronger in punching. Boston don't need no trees. Scrap, 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 scrap. Sack hood with hoses, oh god. What a beautiful little town. Oh, what is this, unmarked lantern somewhere? Let's head on in. Looks like there's some nice stuff to steal here. Just making my way around. Oh god! The sound of gunfire leads me to the Museum of Freedom. And I actually have to go through the museum, which is kind of funny. And I do not have the proper intelligence to care about this. So I first steal the reactor core, because I've actually already played this part of the level. And of course, some of the first humans I see, I just give them a punch. Get a history lesson while I'm here. Bleed some blood. Spending much too much time organizing my inventory. This is still an RPG, right? Then I come across other people who just happen to know that I'm not gonna just slaughter them, or maybe I just aren't allowed to slaughter them. And instead of punching their brains into a bloody pulp, I decide to just hand them my fusion core. Yeah. Or better yet, just use it to do them a favor. But I gotta admit, that power armor looks pretty cool. And again, I spend a little too much time building my settlements. And a lot, but just enough time on my development. And then we have more of this crazy woman who gives away spoilers of the whole game.
Your son's energy. He's alive.
So I take them all back to Sanctuary and try to tidy up the place. In the meantime, get rid of this corpse. It's ugly. Scrap. Scrap.
Scrap.
Scrap. Scrap. Scrap. And build. 20 minutes later, I'm finally done building. And we come up to a lovely diner where we see some gang activity going on.
What's going on?
The story's not so important in this instance, but I do like how Fallout 4 has these optional little side quests and events that makes it feel like you really have an effect on the world and you can really have a choice in what you're doing. And also, I'll take any opportunity to practice my punching and my blitz. These little VATS-enabled cutscenes do look really great. Oh my god, did I just punch her head off? Take your clothes. And we'll take that head right over here. I'm on my way, and I make my way to Diamond City, which is a new place where people are really afraid of robots that look like humans called synths, and that guy loses his head. So I go poking around the Massachusetts State House to find something that looks like it came from Morrowind. Enter the subway, kill some ghouls looking for this detective guy. I find Detective Guy, and he's no guy at all. He's a synth. He was kidnapped by all these gangsters, and it's my job to just walk right past him and get him out of here. And as I scrub through this footage, I realize I spend an exceptional amount of time at shops and building settlements and planting stuff and just a lot of menial, tedious things that you would not think about. But anyway, so we go back to Diamond City. We break into this guy's house.
No way I could pick this.
And I try to look good in the process. And then I steal all his stuff. Then I spend some more time configuring my character like a good RPG player should, and then we're on our way. We find some clues to track the guy who stole my son.
Okay, boy, let's track
And
him.
while I'm playing this very interesting game of Blue's Clues, I realize the people at Sanctuary in my settlement aren't very happy, so I have to go build some water purifiers. And speaking of purifying the water, I thought I moved this dead body out of here into the water before. What's it doing back here? Alright, we're just gonna leave it here. So, of course, I'm distracted on my mission.
You haven't found out anything about Paul yet, have you?
And no, I don't have time for your gossip. Leave me alone. And because I care only about stats, I try my luck at the Massachusetts Fusion building to get that bobblehead at the top. I realize there's probably a bit more than I can handle, with me just simply punching legendary gunners here and there. There, shoot me from above. I'm almost dead. I gotta get out of here. Bye-bye. Get the doctor to heal me up. Get some noodles from the guy. Gear up my character with endless shopping. And we are back on track. Oh my god, what is that? Must defeat with punches only. It's okay if the shopkeeper shoots it, though. That's not against my rules. I'm the only one limited to sucker punching bears and super mutants. I find a scary sign. And ta-da, we're at Fort Hagen. And check it out, everybody. I'm fighting synths. But Fort Hagen seems a little impossible at the moment, so I'm going to do a few other things in the meantime. And again with this body, why is it still doing this? Anyway, so I need to bulk up. I get Vincent ready, and we go to get that strength bobblehead once and for all. On our way to Massachusetts Fusion. What? Alright, let's head on in. We can do this. Come on, let's do it. Alright, let's do it. It's time to kick some butt. Well, yeah, we got this. On second thought, you know what? I gotta get out of here. Perhaps they're a little stronger than I thought, and you need a bit of strength before you can get the strength bobblehead. So let's just take a breather, let's buff back up, and let's head back inside. And with some special maneuvering through the level, and some very special arming of Mr. Valentine, we're almost there. I just don't know how to get up.
Hey, whoa. Sounds like a personal problem to me.
So we'll throw a little bit of Motlov cocktails at him. Spice things up a bit in this game. We'll punch our way up. And finally, at last, we are at our goal. But how to make it out alive as well.
Oh,
Well, that's easy. You just run out the stairs. Alright, done with this place.
Just stay calm.
I'm on another quest where I take Travis into a gunfight where we're trying to save our guy.
Okay, can we just get in there before I totally lose my nerve?
We save the guy, and then Valentine has a heart-to-heart with me.
Just, with everything that's happened with you and your family.
I don't want a
it's
heart-to-heart
a whole hell
with
of a lot
Valentine.
to process. I wanted to make sure you're holding up all right.
But yo, check out when I just walk up to this turret and just punch it till it explodes. Woo! Now's a better time than any to go into the assembly plant and just wreak havoc. You know, punching heads off, tackling people, using that strength bobblehead and my perks to good use. And naturally, after you punch limbs and heads off, you gotta steal all their clothes. This stuff is mine. I mean, I don't know what this game feels and looks like when using guns, but when punching, this is kind of what it feels like all the time. And it is awesome. Here's another example of my teleportation abilities. I'm just gonna teleport in that room and punch that turret. But can anyone tell me what's going on with Creepy Monkey? I haven't really gotten that far in the story. I wanna punch my way to the top and then throw you over the ledge. Now, at first I thought I was missing something because I searched this place for like a good 20 minutes, not finding any new enemies or nothing. I kept checking the maps. But eventually I found what I needed to do to clear the whole place, collected my treasures, and got out of there once and for all. I'm done with that place. Now, on to some real actual quests I care about. Like trying to meet up with the Underground Railroad in order to join a faction following this red line, which is known as the Freedom Trail, and coming up to a super mutant barbecue pit. Yo, I ain't afraid of them. I will punch him in the... Oh, Vincent got him. Fine. I could have gotten it. See? Watch me beat up on this other one. I make it to the old church, I go through the basement, I run through their combination lock, and I meet some complete strangers who I really have no idea why they trust me. They know I'm not a ghoul, and they won't just kill me on first sight like they would do everyone else, and like I do everyone else.
Once, I pledged my life to protect my countrymen. I don't see this as any different.
Well said. Someone with your skills, your beliefs.
Yes!
Normally
Alright, you
try
see,
and recruit
these
you,
people
but right now,
believe that
we don't have
synths
the
should
time
be
for
treated
that.
as equal as humans
There
because
are,
their
however,
experiences
other
are the same of
valuable
humans.
ways you can
And that's why I like them,
And in
and
turn,
then
we can help
my
you.
partner here likes me,
See
he
Deacon
works
for
better with
details.
me, and
Feel free to
Valentine
go.
is just a better companion altogether.
I think we ought to talk.
Oh no, not another heart-to-heart. I think it's about time we return to Fort Hagen and give this a try now that I'm stronger and we have a synth that works. Ride the elevator with Valentine.
Going down.
Let him hack a few more terminals. Punch some ceiling turrets. And finally meet Mr. Cornflakes himself.
Here we are. Funny, huh?
But he leaves me no choice but to finally finish him off. And steal his clothes. Kellogg had very poor taste in commuter monitor shapes. Seriously, it's not like it's circular information. It's still in a square format. So we ride the elevator back up to the surface, or maybe somewhere else, I don't know, because this elevator takes suspiciously long. I thought it was only like 3 floors or something, but I don't know, it's seeming like this elevator takes just as long as a loading screen might take. And it's getting awfully awkward here in this elevator with Valentine just staring at me with his yellow, glowy eyes. What's going on? Am I supposed to do something in this time? Oh, thank goodness. Here we go. Just a normal, everyday exit out of an elevator. And wait, what's that sound? Oh my gosh! It's a lovely moon! Alright, I'm not gonna ruin it for y'all. But I did accidentally find this weird naked chick that I accidentally threw a Molotov cocktail at and started on fire at my settlement. And maybe or maybe not completely related to anything I just talked about in the last 5 seconds, something blew up in the wild. Then I found this old crashed airplane that I could loot materials from the suitcases. And a creepy robot factory that I did not want to explore quite yet.
Welcome to the General Atomics Galleria. You must be our new supervisor.
Then I really wanted to get Dogmeat back as my companion because Valentine was just talking a little too much. And it took me this long to actually find him. I searched all my settlements and finally he was in this random doghouse over here. Come on, Dogmeat! Eat from your bowl!
Hey, boy.
Then I come across some ghoul slaughter at a police station.
We could use an extra gun on our side.
Yo, I don't touch guns. But I do take visits to the memory den, where apparently people can take seats in these big containers and play Fallout 4. And here is where the game took a little bit of a turn for me. Not only have I been getting a little tired of constantly traveling back and forth trading and building my settlements and worrying about RPG elements. I mean, I'm probably at about 20 hours of gameplay at this point between all my settlement building, shopping, and everything. And I remember back to Fallout 3 when there was this kind of interesting gameplay sequence that changed the way the story was for me, and I really enjoyed that, but everything after that seemed a little underwhelming and silly and very repetitive as far as the game engine and gameplay and graphics and all that stuff was kind of concerned. The story just didn't drive it any further for me. Anyway, so we're in Kellogg's brain, and I guess we're walking on his neurons and going back in time for his memory. I thought this was a guy we were supposed to absolutely hate, but now we're getting to know him very intimately. I realize that it is me who is probably playing the game wrong, taking myself too seriously, and delving into the story either too much or not enough, delving into the gameplay either too much or not enough, and I'm just not really handling the whole experience all that well, and I also got tired of constantly thinking about the game and caring about it, and at this point it just kind of died off for me. So yeah, this whole Kellogg story wasn't really following it all that much. But this right here was absolutely an awesome sequence to see the beginning of my story seen from a different angle, from Kellogg's angle, and the empathy piece there with that really paid off, I think, in the story. It eventually just got a little too sci-fi and strange for my taste, although I get where they're trying to go, and also at this point the ending was spoiled for me, so maybe that also killed the whole thing for me. There was no surprise at the end, but when I didn't know the story at the end, when I wasn't spoiled by the ending, it almost felt like the ending was unobtainable, or there were so many endings that it didn't really matter what I did. So in one last attempt to increase my stats as a punching guy and kick some butt in the right way, I decided to try and go into this comic book shop to get a mystical item. I don't actually even remember what it was called, but I did try and get it, and I died, and yeah, so that's the end of my journey, at least for now. And there you have it. 20 hours of my gameplay with all the loading, the building, the shopping, all cut out. Just the action and the funny bits.